Hi everybody, it's Sarah Nissen, coming to you quickly to share with you the tongue exercises that I was given by my OMT, my functional therapist. That is a hard one to say. It's been 7 days now since my tongue tie procedure. I had a posterior tongue tie, which means that the center of my tongue there was actually restricted down to my mouth. So certain things that I couldn't do before now, I apparently can do. I'm going to get right into it. So this is for the next week I'm supposed to be doing, and then I'll have something different. You wouldn't want to start these during the first week because the wound is too open and it would be excruciatingly painful if possible. I don't even know if it would be possible. Tongue pops. That's the tongue suctioned up to the roof of the mouth and then let go. 20 of those 3 times a day. Caves, count to 10. So just like that before, but vacuum up to the hard palate. 10 and then pop. Do 10 of those. Jawbreaker. This one's challenging. 25 of these 3 times a day. Push tongue to the cheek and hold for 10, then repeat. Okay, 25 of those. That would take a while. Peanut butter rub. This one's good. So tongue like in cave position, and then rubbing the tip and the middle are suctioned up, rubbing back and forth along the palate. So with the mouth open as wide as you can. Kind of hard to see because I don't have a light in there, but Facebook's probably going to freeze it on that. Tongue depressor push-up. This is a tongue depressor. This is my tongue. So I use it to stick the tongue like this. If it needs to be dried out. The tongue's kind of dry too. So you want to pull the teeth away from the tongue and give it a good stretch. You don't want to hurt yourself, but for me it doesn't hurt anymore on the wound itself, so the stretch I can feel is down here. I can actually feel it in the back of my throat. So you do that, let's see, tongue depressor push-up, you do count to 10 5 times, 3 times a day. She said to me to really go for it because it doesn't hurt underneath. Tongue point and trace, count to 10. Oh, okay. So point the tongue out towards something. Then put it, and you want it to be pointy. And then put the tip of it on the spot. And then trace back as far as you can, with the mouth as far open as you can. Like that. I couldn't do that before at all. That's interesting to see. Oh, and the last 2, there's 2 more. Pinch the end of the tongue and pull out and side to side. Tissue makes it easier to hold, so. Do that 5 times in each area, 5 times a day. 2 fingers under the tongue. This one I was not doing correctly, and I don't think I mentioned it in the other video. This one is supposed to stretch that area. So 2 fingers under the tongue like this. You kind of pinch them together back there on the tissue under the tongue. And then lift. Like that. And you're lifting these fingers like this up because you're trying to stretch the tissue in the center of the tongue underneath. And that's it. And that one's important. The last thing she mentioned, she's not a fascial. You say facial for or a facial? Fascial is the fascia. She's not a fascial therapist, but she recommended these fascial massages, which are the most beneficial of like anything that I've done. That's stretching the fascia there. Fascia is this web of like thin, sort of slippery connective tissue that goes, the band of it, that it goes down here and connects all the way through your torso to the pelvis. So I think a lot of us that are getting these tongue tie releases are not addressing this issue, but for me, so firm right here and up in here. And apparently, it's supposed to be soft. She had me feel hers, and she doesn't have restriction, and it's like soft down there. I had no idea. So after these stretches, after eating, after talking, it is sore. So I just go back with my thumb or finger or whatever, but press upward. You don't want to be rubbing your skin. You want to be slipping the skin over the deep tissue in there, against like the grain of it, if you will, and you'll feel like a tight band. And you can do this multiple times throughout the day, especially while you're driving works well, as long as you can keep one hand on the wheel. And keep pushing it, and you'll feel it loosen. And she said 30 seconds even. You don't want it to bruise. You're just pushing upward, directly upward, back and forth. And that, I feel an immediate release in my toes, even. I feel this sort of relaxation feeling. Same with on the sides, in the bone, down, and then up, right in there. It's pretty high up. You want to press up and rub back and forth wherever you feel. There it is. It's not supposed to be tight in there. It's supposed to be loose and supple. And you'll feel, if you do that, your neck pain will sort of melt away. But you won't be able to do this much without the tongue tie release, because the tongue is like contracted in with the release, without the release happening. So pressing there, massaging that wouldn't have really worked before the release. So it gives me a lot of hope. She also said that 2 months after the tie release is when most people show the most mobility of the tongue. So if you've had your tongue tie release a week ago, even a month ago, and you're not getting as much movement, don't worry. She said it will release, and as long as you do the exercises. But I would not have a tongue tie release without doing these exercises. So hopefully you can at least follow along with mine. They're different for different people. I'm not a myofunctional therapist or anything. I'm just a person who got it done. But I hope it helps you. So that's it. I'll put this on YouTube as well. And I will see you soon. Bye.